Next time, next year.
You just asked me in when you heard it.
I'll be sure to
Are we ready? All right, I'd like to welcome everybody to the Metropolitan School District of Posey November 9th school board meeting, and we'll open the meeting by joining me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have a wonderful attendance tonight at our board meeting, and we are so glad everybody could make it. We have a lot to celebrate tonight. We have been working on a strategic plan since this time last year, for about a year, kind of redrawing our mission statement, our vision statement, our core values. We're pretty excited and about those, and we're going to start implementing them at board meetings. So Mike's got those. He's going to read those to us.
So our vision statement states, we inspire all students to achieve their potential for learning and life in a safe and supportive environment. Our mission statement is we partner with our community to create a dynamic and innovative educational experience, empowering students to become educated, productive, and responsible citizens. In our core beliefs, we believe our community is vital to our educational success. We believe everyone is valued and treated with respect. We believe in always telling the truth. We believe in educational opportunity for all. We believe in a student-centered programs, challenging and inspiring learning. And we believe in the pursuit of excellence through a strong sense of pride. Our high priorities are enhancing the student experience, investing in teachers and administrators, fostering strong relationships among all, and maximizing the resources.
Thank you. All right. So our first item on the agenda, do we want to go ahead and just recognize?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Everybody,
we have any patrons here, so
we'll handle that. We'll go ahead and mark it off. So our first item on the agenda is patrons concerned. And I have the sheet here, and we have nobody signed up, so we'll mark that accordingly.
So, Mr. President, it's my honor this evening to bring forward several student athletes who have done a tremendous job, and also I want to recognize Mr. Schenk, our athletic director. We have had probably one of the best fall seasons in a very, very long time, and so I'm going to turn it over to Waylon to kind of share with us how well our athletes did this year and in the different areas.
We'll start off with tennis. Max Renshaw is here with us tonight. Max is made it to the state finals as an individual in tennis, made it to the sectional regional, made it all the state finals. He was named second team All-State in tennis. Coach Barrett was not be able to hear tonight, but Coach Mull's here. Coach Mull's got 4 of our cross-country runners. Gavin Wheeler's back here hiding behind the door, and Abigail Pardon, they both qualified for the regional in cross-country. Olivia Eshe and Kay Beaker both made it onto the semi-state cross-country. And then Coach McCauley's back there hiding in the back. Our girls volleyball team won a regional title for the first time in school history. Several of these girls were named to the PAC All-Conference team. And then Julia Fulton found out last night she was first team All-State in volleyball, first time in school history we've had that. So, wow. Really good fall sports season. Along with these kids, both soccer teams made it to a sectional final. Our football program won the conference and made it to a sectional final. Outside of athletics, if you look around this room, every one of these kids is high academic kids as well. So hats off to them and their coaches for everything they did this fall.
We haven't done this before, and I saw it at a breakout meeting. We've talked about it, but I think tonight's the perfect reason for a standing ovation, right? Congratulations. So Mr. Max, since I've known you since you were a little bitty kid, it seems like, tell us about your trip to state. What was that like?
I mean, it was nerve-wracking for sure. I mean, I wasn't really supposed to be there in the first place, but I guess I was the true country underdog kid. And it was fun for sure. It was a different atmosphere up there. It was just wild. There was just all these prep schools, all these real preppy kids, but it was kind of cool being there with the fans who went up with me. It was fun with my friend to get to warm up with me. It was a good experience for sure.
There were several students that made the trip up there.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the picture and.
Oh yeah, it was real fun. I
Well,
loved it.
There's nothing more exciting than to see you wear North Posey colors up there and represent us.
I know,
You did a great job.
I was blessed.
All right, so tell us about the cross country. So you guys went to Semi-State, right?
Yeah.
Where'd you run?
Brown County.
So did I hear you went up the night before?
Yeah. We stayed in a hotel, and that night we went out and got pizza in like a cute little place.
I didn't think he was gonna describe it that way.
It was like Pigeon Forge. It was like little shops and stuff. It was really cool.
So what time did you run?
Was it
10 our
or
time.
10? Yeah.
And then Olivia ran at
12.
yeah.
And what place where did you guys finish?
I got 88 out of 191.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and he was the ninth freshman. And Coach Newcomer, we're co-head coaches this year, which has been a blessing for me. But he was the ninth freshman overall to finish, which is absolutely huge. I don't think cross country is a really hard sport for a lot of people to understand. We don't place as a team. We have enough boys this year, but we didn't go as a team, and we didn't have enough girls to even make our own team. So for them to go, they just place individually, and that's how we look at it. And for him to get ninth freshman to cross the line this year was absolutely astounding. Then Olivia's okay too.
What grade are
you guys?
I'm sophomore.
Freshman.
Sophomore.
You.
Olivia was third in sectionals. So when you're talking about Evansville sectionals, we're running against, schools that are much bigger than us. And she came across the line at third. Is pretty impressive. So, but next year we'll have a full girls team. We have 3 8th graders coming up. So it'll be the first time we've had a full girls team, and they should be really good. So, yeah.
We have a very young team. We only lost, well, I shouldn't say that. We lost 2 seniors, but we're going to be able to hopefully replace them.
Yep. So we'll have a
With good
full
talent,
boys
too.
and girls team next year. So, and they both will be very competitive.
Yeah, this year, if we would have had a full girls team, we would have advanced to regionals just because there was only 5
As a team.
full teams.
Yeah.
So we just needed to beat one team, and we definitely could have done that. They usually talk a lot more than this. They were very proud of themselves, I promise.
Yeah.
They're very,
Yeah.
very happy.
That's awesome. Keep it
That
up.
was a fun team.
Yes.
All right, girls, floor is yours. First of all, introduce them. How's that?
Katie Oakley, Abelo, Sybil Renshaw, Ashton, Opers, Abby Bullitt, Claire Kester, Jenna Reinberger, Julia Bullitt, Brooklyn Getty, Erin Hain, and Emma Hall. So, and this group, like, it was really fun just to watch them throughout the year. They had no idea how good they were, starting from the very beginning. So it was just, they come in, do the work really hard and practice, and it was just fun to see them get better and better and better, and then we just peaked at the right time. Sectionals, that was the game of the year to see the Tecumseh match. I mean, like, blood, sweat, concussions, maybe even on the big plays happening. It was just a really fun atmosphere. And then once they took down Tecumseh, like, there was no stopping them. They knew they could go further and they could go further. So it was great to bring home a sectional, and even better to bring home a regional. So
We may or may not have watched the final game on the side of a barn. So. Just saying, maybe. No, that was outstanding. So how about regionals?
he's looking at you.
Somebody tell a story. There's got to be something.
Well, we had to stay in a hotel for the night before regional, which was an experience on a different level. But I don't know, getting to spend the night with like your team, it just keeps you hyped up. Like the night before, we were hyped the night before, into the next morning, into the bus ride on the way there. And I don't know, just our energy. We wanted it more than any other team there, because everyone else expected to win. Like Linton Stockton expected to win. They walked into the regional championship thinking that they had already won. But we won. You could tell that we wanted it more. We were willing to work.
Did they even
harder
win a
for it.
game against you?
No. yeah, it was just awesome. Like, and seeing like the crowd, like just the North Posey community come and support us was really, really cool.
And then Sima State.
I don't think they want to talk
We don't
about
really want to talk about it. The community support was
That atmosphere
phenomenal.
was
Amazing.
It was
crazy. Just anytime we looked at the bleachers, it was completely packed, and that was the most memorable thing from semi-state. Just seeing that many people show up to watch your game was really cool.
So, freshman,
Sophomore, senior, junior.
and we got a lot of underclassmen still coming back and all the way around. You know, you heard the word community several times in our mission statement, our vision statement, and what we think. If you looked on Twitter when you guys were making your run, several of the people made some comments that don't live in this area that said, don't bother going to Poseyville, nobody's there. Everybody's up at Jasper at the Sima State. And then going there, you see that. Cherish that run. You guys made history. There's little girls that look up to you and will always look up to you. This program will always look up to you. Whenever you can build and energize a community the way you did is outstanding, and you won't ever forget this. Larry can speak. He made a run with New Harmony's girls.
You know, we didn't go this far though.
No, but you did something outstanding.
The thing that I thought was so great against Tecumseh, we lost the second game, a heartbreaker. We could have just stopped right then, and that was it. Comeback was unbelievable. And Linton Stockton against us lost that second game, and they just, hell, our Posey's better than us. Let's go home. That's basically what they said before the third game.
Yeah, they folded. For sure. For sure. I vividly remember looking at Claire after we lost the second set against Tecumseh, and we both said, we're not done. Like, all three of us seniors, we were like, no, this is not it. And then
We're gonna fight till
we had the rest of the team backing us. We were just not ready to be done. So we worked harder the third set. Didn't let the first two losses get in our heads, and we just kept going, which was amazing.
Unbelievable.
Well, outstanding. You guys have set a great example, and hopefully you continue to pass that down to the little ones, and they follow in your footsteps and fight even harder. So outstanding. We can't thank you enough. Great job.
Thank you.
Great effort by Coach McCauley too.
She's hiding back there in the back.
I saw somebody in some video, and I'm not sure who that was.
At some point, somebody's got to explain volleyball to me, because like I still don't know why you wear a different shirt than
It's an ever evolving sport, constant little changes, but it's a game of momentum, and that's the reason why that game two, after we lost against Tecumseh with game one, game two, that's the reason why it's such a big deal that we came back and won. It's because they had all the momentum. They had every reason to just sit back and say, we're not going to play volleyball right now, but they just chose not to, and they fought even harder. I've never seen a team come together so well, and just, I mean, no balls hit the floor. It was just
But
it was a really, every game, and we win, it was even for every point, and it was just a bigger and bigger accomplishment. We just knew we could do it, so.
outstanding. All right. Well, thank you all. We appreciate it. You're more than welcome to stay for this exciting meeting. Or I know all you guys have to go home and study, so lots of studying needs to be done.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Congratulations.
All right. Before we go further, I know we have some special guests here. There's a Boy Scout troop from New Harmony. You want to introduce yourself and the troop and the kids?
I'm gonna let them introduce themselves, stand up and name it all. I'm Tim Wiley, Scoutmaster at New Harmony. We're here on a merit badge. They're working on community in the country. You got me in a pickle there. Citizen, and they have to come to one of these to see how they're conducted, and it's just part of their time. Daniel, go ahead, tell your name and just tell your name. That's all you gotta do.
I'm Daniel Carmen.
Miles Mill.
I'm Seth Gentile.
What grade you guys in?
Eighth.
Good deal. Well, thanks for coming.
They have to sit there, don't they?
Yeah, they have to stay for the whole meeting. They don't get. All right, next item on the agenda is our minutes, claim docket, and consent items that were previously sent to you. Will entertain a motion to approve those?
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I'll second.
So a motion by Mr. Schmidt, seconded by Mrs. Will, to approve the claim docket consent items as previously sent. Any comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. New business, Mr. Galvin.
Next up this evening underneath new business is we're bringing forward the school calendar for next year, the 2022, 2023. And then we'll go to the second item, which is the 2023, 2024 school calendars. We have two choices in there. The first choice is just mainly a corresponding date for next year. And then the second choice that you have in there is actually bumping the fall break by 1 week to the second full week in October. What we've done is we talked to our teachers as well as our administrators. We also looked at our athletic schedule. That second week really works better into our calendars and stuff. The nice thing about that is that then becomes the end of the 9 weeks. Whereas right now what we're doing is we're coming back and we have another week left in the 9 weeks. And so this way, this would finish out the 9 weeks. The other thing is as you know, we're involved in a lot of sectionals at a time. So if we bumped it to the second week, tennis, cross country, and soccer would possibly be done with their postseason unless they were going on to like a semi-state or state or something like that. So all it would still impact, I believe, would just be football maybe and volleyball were the two that I think would still impact. So when we talk to a lot of our people, they really like the second week better. Now, the only issue, and of course, it's not in our district, of course, that first week is the Fall Festival in Evansville, and a lot of our people participate in that. But like I said, it made more educational sense to bump into that second week. The other thing that we've changed on these calendars, and this is a new change, and actually, quite honestly, it fits in very well. The Department of Education is looking closer at the early dismissals, which we have done for the past several years for professional development days. This year, we changed those to full days and made those e-learning. And actually, that meets the Department of Education's requirements much better because if they are an early dismissal, what they're then looking at is your time that you spend in school. And are you meeting the requirements underneath state law for the amount of time? If you do not meet, I think it's like 5 hours and I can't think how many minutes it is.
It's different for elementary and high school, it's different hours, but it is a daily rate. And that's not an average over the year.
Yeah, so if you don't meet that for that day, then it cannot count as an attendance day. Whereas if we dismiss and we have an e-learning, it counts as an attendance day. So what we did with all of those going forward on all the calendar proposals is made those into a full e-learning day. And then we also added in one in April, which there had not been one previously for that. We are getting a lot done right now in our PD days. The teachers are really working well through the curriculum maps for English language arts. We've also been doing a lot of training with all of our other teachers as far as safety and security. We've done CPR training, we've done bus training. We've also worked with our paraprofessionals. Michelle's done some training on love and logic, which is kind of like a social and emotional training. So there's been a lot of great things. It's not just been a situation of teachers could do whatever they wanted to do. So, or staff members as well. So it's been a good quality training that we've been doing this year, and building that culture of learning. So the recommendation that I would make is that you pick the second option, which is bumping that fall break to the second full week in October.
Entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we go with the second
Option 2.
second option two, moving the fall break back a week.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion by Mr. Colley and seconded by Mr. Schmidt to recommend or approve the option 2 school calendar for the 2022-2023 school year as presented by Mr. Galvin. Any comments or questions?
Are they just presented to the association for feedback?
Correct. It's mainly just a discussable is what it is. South Terrace, I think, was going to go have theirs actually vote on it. I never did hear statistics on that. I need to report back. I know, like I said, most of them just sent me some comments and things like that. So that that sounded good, or I think most middle school or junior high sent back saying that most people that said anything to them liked the second option better than the first option. But yeah, you're right. It's just mainly a discussable. They do not have to approve of it or not approve of it.
And when you say the association, it went out to everybody or only those in?
The association went out to those people who are in the association. Yeah, and then I think we also post. Well, what they do is they lay it out in their lounges so that anybody can see it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Any other comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The motion carries 5-0.
Okay, so the next item there is the 2023-2024. Once again, mainly what we just did was just corresponding dates. And for this one as well, I would recommend option number 2, which is bumping that that same week back.
Okay.
Yeah. You didn't realize you're gonna get a full week fall break.
I like it.
I know. It's nice. Weather's still nice around here.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve option number 2 for the 2023-2024 calendar as presented by Mr. Allen.
Second.
I'll second it.
So we have a motion by Mrs. Will, seconded by Mr. Colley. Any comments or questions?
Could adjustments be made to that if needed?
Yep. You as a board always have the right to make those changes or make those adjustments. And you've seen as well, like when we've gotten into it, the school year and stuff, there's been something that's come up and you've made a change in the calendar. You have that authority to do that.
How many e-learning days are there? 7? Is that what I heard you say?
That sounds right.
Yeah. It's the triangle ones. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Unless there's one in there.
4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7.
I only see 6 up
I
there.
only see 6.
Well, scroll
Seven.
down.
There it
There's
is.
7. Yeah.
It was hiding in November.
We don't
I
do
was
one.
counting over here.
We don't do one in December because it's short month and with holidays. And we don't do one in March because of spring break, and also we're starting to get into testing. So, and we don't do one in May because there's a lot more testing in May. So those are kind of reasons why we don't use those. Did you have any changes, Vince? Okay, all right.
Any other comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries 5-0.
So this evening, we have the honor of bringing forward a recommendation for the North Posey High School Assistant Principal. Mr. Fisher brought together a team of individuals, including myself and Mrs. Walden, Mr. Kavanaugh, Mrs. Egan from high school, as well as Mr. Wallace and Mrs. Whitfield. And is that everybody? Mrs. Shank. Yeah, Mr. Shank. Mr. Shank, thank you. So we have We had 8 very well qualified candidates that we interviewed that day. We put each one through about an hour-long interview, asking about 4 pages of question, ranging from all different areas. And this evening, we feel like that we're bringing forward a outstanding candidate who is going to really add a lot to our leadership team and to the leadership team at the high school. We're bringing forward Mrs. Amy Duvall. She lives with her husband in Evansville. She is a West Sider who grew up in Wrights High School, attended the University of Southern Indiana, but then graduated from Indiana State University with her education degree. She's had experience at the high school level in North Putnam as a English teacher, if I remember correctly, and also a curriculum coach. So she brings a lot of curriculum and instructional experience to this position. She is currently serving as the assistant principal at Princeton Middle School in North Gibson. And so we're working closely with them to get her on here as quickly as we possibly can. But we also want to be professional and assist them. So at this point in time, we've talked about that her position would not officially begin until after the first of the year, which I think our first day back is January 3rd. But we are in conversations with them to see if we could start a little bit earlier than that and at least have her come join us for some administrative meetings and maybe our Christmas party and those kinds of things, just kind of get to know people. So, but her salary that we've agreed to is $76,000. Of course, that will be prorated for this school year for the remainder of days that she will have. And then also, of course, she would be given the administrative package that we have here. So, Mr. Fisher, do you want to say anything about her as well?
Just, going through, the process that day, really appreciated not only Amy's performance in that interview, but what we know about her from our network. And we just feel like she's a really great fit for what we have at the high school. Once again, appreciation goes out to the committee that assisted with the process. Excited about the opportunity.
So, Mr. President, we bring her forward this evening for your consideration and very enthusiastically bring her forward. So.
You entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the recommendation to hire Ms. Duvall as the North Posey High School Assistant Principal.
Second.
I'll second.
So a motion by Mr. Schmidt, seconded by Mr. Colley to approve the hiring of Mrs. Amy Duvall as the North Posey High School Assistant Principal. Any comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The motion carries. Congratulations.
Welcome.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Floor is yours if you want to say anything.
I've said it over and
You
over.
gotta get out here in the camera so
I
you
gotta
can see you. So, there you go.
I've just said it over and over to each and every one of you I've met. I am so very excited to come on board and be a part of this community, and I'm looking forward to many, many years with North Posey and investing in the lives of the kids that you have here. So thank you, and thank you for the trust that you're putting in me.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right.
Next up this evening, you have there the professional development request. The 4 principals will be attending the Indiana Association of School Principals Fall Conferences. And then also Mrs. Walden and I in December will be attending the Superintendent's Conference, the State Superintendent's Conference. So those are the requests that we bring forward for professional leave.
Entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the professional leave request.
Second. Motion by Mr. Oakley, seconded by Mrs. Will to approve the professional leave request as presented by Mr. Galvin. Comments or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
Next up this evening with reports and information, just a COVID-19 update. Coming back from fall break, we had said that we would examine and look at our COVID numbers. I think the one thing that our parents have appreciated the most throughout this year is that we've used our own data to make the decisions. We've not looked at what is Evansville doing or what's Mount Vernon doing. We've looked at our own data and said, we can make an educated decision based upon our data. Our COVID-19 numbers have really dropped down to 0. I think currently we have one student at North Elementary who is on quarantine. And I think that's probably more of we have one high school teacher that probably came through today. So, but anyway, junior high. So, but our numbers have been really good. And the other thing that as we approach that date, we were also monitoring the county numbers. And as what you may or may not know, county has gone to yellow now. So we felt like that the data was definitely there to support move back to optional masks. The interesting thing was 2 days after we did our press release, Warwick County also came out and returned back to optional masks. One of the differences that we did do, and our conversation administrative team has been kind of how do we get off of this? Where's the off ramp for COVID, where we start returning back to, normal operating procedures and stuff. And so one of the changes we did make was the quarantining issue. As you know, last year, and looking at our data, we quarantined a huge amount of kids, and they missed a lot of education and stuff. And we felt like that in looking back at that data from last year, none of those kids, actually, I don't think any of those kids last year that we quarantined ever became a positive case for us. So that was something that as we began and we came into this year, we once again began collecting that same data to say, what are we seeing happen with our data and stuff? So that was one thing with this change that we made is we said that, we were going to just notify parents, let them know that their child was a close contact. And if they chose not to keep that kid home and quarantine them, that they could send them to school. They would have to wear a mask for that quarantine period. And they would have to check in with the nurse every morning to just get a temperature check to see if there was any symptoms or anything like that. And so that's what we've been doing for the past, week now? Maybe 2 weeks. So once again, I think Channel 25 came out and questioned me and they said, well, one of the questions they asked, they said, well, is it going to be a black eye if your numbers go up and you have to go back to a mask? I said, no. I said, we'll look at our data. We'll make the decision based upon our data. And if that need arises, then we'll do that. And that's the way I feel like that is most responsible. It's also being, I feel like, what we should be doing as professionals is looking at the data and making the decisions of what's best for our kids and our families here in North Posey. So that's kind of where we've gone with that. And, I think I've even had people in the health profession approach me who are some of our parents saying, I am 100% support of what you're doing and how we've made these changes and stuff. So I just kind of want to make the board aware of that, as we move forward and stuff. And, I think we weren't the only ones. We looked at some other schools that had done that, and that's kind of where we patterned ours off of. But we'll just continue to look at our data and make decisions based upon that. And that's why I'm trying to be 100% transparent, send out those weekly updates of where are our case numbers and stuff, so that parents are aware of that, and so that they can understand how we're making those decisions and things. That's all I have, Mr. President.
Anybody else have anything for the good of the cause?
I would say great job to the administrative team on being so transparent and explaining how these decisions are made.
Yes. Anybody else?
Specifically on COVID or anything else?
Anything else? I'd rather not talk about COVID.
Okay. I'm gonna go on to the next meeting. I'm gonna be out of town that day, so.
Well, we have to clarify that because it says Tuesday the 13th, but Tuesday's the 14th.
Yes.
Well, yeah, Monday.
Yep, should be Monday.
Monday, okay. I'm out of town either one.
Okay.
I'll be traveling to work.
Well, I think we're going to move it to Tuesday if everybody's fine with that, the actual 14th.
Tuesday the 14th.
Are you okay with that?
What do we have? Let's say I won't be here, so as long as everyone else can.
Are you okay with that? I mean, I know the junior high has a game which you're coaching, so.
No, that's why
you probably need to.
Changing it?
Huh?
That's why we're changing this for an athletic event?
I don't know, there was a specific reason we had to have one.
You publish it in public.
So,
But yeah, you can move that if you want to choose.
Are you guys okay with that, or?
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
Is this a one-time, probably?
A one-time what?
Are we gonna be moving the January one, the February one, or?
I haven't looked out. I don't think there is anything in February. I mean, if you guys don't want to do it, we don't have to do it.
It actually works out better with my schedule, but I have to put in my request actually a year in advance, so.
Well, anyway, and, you know, I can always find somebody else to coach for me that night. That's not, you know, so.
I'm free either night, so.
I'm good either night. I might have to reschedule a drive or two.
So you can make it.
I've already put in to be off. Like I said, that specific one would work out better, but we probably need to be as consistent as possible. I mean, we do advertise these, so I'm indifferent on this.
So I'm at the will of you guys. I'm just correcting here. We have Tuesday the 13th, which Tuesday is actually the 14th, Monday is the 13th. We just need to be clear on what we're
As
doing.
long as you got a quorum on whichever night you put it on. That's the only thing you have to have.
But yeah, that's what I just want to make sure. that
Yeah,
it's still
because
another
you not
forum,
being
because
there.
I can't, yeah.
Yeah.
I can call in. Well, I couldn't if it's on Monday because I will be in the air, but on Tuesday I could call in if need be.
I will make either one.
I'm good either way.
So I say we make it Tuesday for.
Okay. Tuesday the 14th, right?
14th.
Yep.
Okay.
My calendar here. Let's see what they.
Amy will send you a new invite.
Oh, all right.
Larry, you're all right. Yeah, she'll take care of it.
Can I be bringing my driver's ed schedule?
I'll follow on there.
Just add it to the other 25 things you have going on in December.
I am excited to announce that we are going to be able to finally begin moving into our house this coming weekend. So it's been a long time coming, and you know, it's definitely glad to start settling a few things and life returning to normal and stuff. So we'll see. I would like for us to try to have some type of a Christmas party. Michelle and I have talked about trying to do it at one of our houses or something like that for you and your spouses. So we may try to shoot some dates out for that and do something with that.
It's not gonna be a nice, nice thing to get going.
So.
And I think, knock on wood, but I think January, start of second semester will mark the first time we're fully staffed since. Great. Well, at least on the administration side, we'll be fully staffed for the first time in a year and a half.
Yeah. So, and everybody where they're supposed to be.
There you go. There you go. We'll be clicking on all cylinders.
Because last night at the school, you know, the regional school board meeting, I still had associate superintendent on my name tag.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mr. Fisher can get rid of one of his hats that he was wearing.
Yeah.
Be good. Very nice. All right. Well, if there's not anything else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Go ahead.
I just did.
I make a motion. We got our motion, we got our second.
All right, so I have a motion by Mr. Oakley and seconded by Mr. Schmidt to adjourn. We are adjourned.
Not what I wrote.
Thank you.